Indy, by the way, okay, here's I have your DM on Twitter, okay? Can I tell you my meta for DMs on Twitter? And I'm telling you so that you don't feel slighted. I'm telling you in front of people here. When I receive okay, maybe it's rude to call it unsolicited because they were just well wishes, but when I receive an unsolicited DM on Twitter, Twitter has read receipts on by default, but they give you a little message preview without clicking the message. So I leave every single message unread so that the people who send me messages never get mad that I read it and didn't reply. It's not even a protest against receiving the DM. It's a protest against read receipts being on. Read receipts should never be on at all. Like it's spying. I don't think you can turn them off. I think that Twitter leaves them on just so that, because it encourages activity, right? Because if you give them a read receipt and they're like, someone read your message and didn't reply, then you're like, you're incentivized to reply so they don't get mad. So it's just one more way to drive engagement in the algorithm economy. Treat any messaging as email. I'm with you, dude. 100%. I mean, I'm embarrassed to admit I have a text from my mom that's about 12 hours old. I'm sorry. The mornings are very busy. Get the daughter ready for daycare, to a Peloton ride, get in the shower, make sure I'm not wearing the Hawaiian shirt again today, because then it stops being a joke at that point when you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt 3 days in a row and you start to be the guy who wants to fuck his shirt. So I made sure that I was, even though in the normal rotation, because I did laundry again, I probably could have worn the shirt today. Like it would have been hopping to the top of the queue. I said, you know what? We're going to jump another shirt up the queue today, just so I'm not the guy who's wearing the shirt 3 times in a row. How often do you do laundry? A lot. Like, and this is not like I'm not the cleanest guy in the world. I'm not like, oh, I have to do like a load of laundry every day, but we wear a lot of clothes. We got a baby. The baby wears a lot of clothes. She has accidents from time to time. My wife wears clothes. I wear clothes. I also work out every morning. Those make clothes, and those are the stinkiest clothes of all. So like just by working out every day, you're basically doubling the amount of clothes you wear daily, plus adding a little towel. So by the time you get like 3 or 4 days out in that, you're like, you know what? I better do some more laundry. Can't you wear the same workout clothes at home for a week? What the fuck? Hold on. What? Excuse me? One more. Auditing. What the hell? You're lucky I can't find you. For a week? Look, I'll let you use the towel for 2 days, even though it's a little gross. Same workout clothes for 1 week is crazy. No, I'm just going to answer your question. No, you cannot wear the same workout clothes for a week straight. Same shorts is okay. What kind of underwear do you think you're wearing that all of your pubic sweat is being stopped by the underwear? I know you're wearing like $4 Tommy Hilfiger underwear that, your mom got you for Christmas in 2014. And you're like, oh yeah, that makes it show so my shorts are clean. What are you talking about? You doing a 30-minute Fresh Friday Dennis Morton ride, followed by 20-minute slow flow yoga? You're thinking you're not sweating through your shorts on that one? I don't think so. We're getting 340 output on a 30-minute ride. You're feeling strong again. You're feeling like you're actually recuperating a little bit from your infections. Some people go outside to work out. Bro, it's the damn summertime. It's actually it's hotter outside. What the hell? And now we're like, okay, so some people go outside to work out and also don't sweat that much and also live in the southern hemisphere where right now it's the winter time. Okay, to that one person, you probably still stink, but on paper maybe you don't. But like in the air, you probably do. On paper, you might be right, though. Unfortunately for you, we don't figure out who smells based on a compare and contrast Fisher tea table. We go, who's the stinky guy? And then we look at the guy whose shorts are 2 different colors because they've been sweated through, and we go, probably that dude right there. Just do your lawn. Like, I don't understand. It's the same shit every time. Like, this is what the internet is, right? Like, at least on Twitch. And to be fair, there's other psycho parts of the internet that are like trying to get you to wash your damn chicken in the sink before you cook it. And then everybody's like, Scientists are like, please don't do that. It sprays the salmonella all over your kitchen. And people are like, don't care, didn't ask, plus you nasty. Okay? So there's different extremes of cleanliness, but people legitimately, they hear that somebody does their laundry like exactly enough to not smell, and they take that as a threat. I don't care if you smell, but just like own it. We don't have to argue about whether or not you smell. Just put your nose down to your armpit and figure it out. What's the point in arguing about it? Like it's a verifiable fact. Can confirm I do not smell. Anyone in the no deodorant gang? I would say I'm a twice in the summertime. I'm a deodorant 2 times a day. Right after I get out of the shower, I deodorant. Sometimes it'll be like I'll go to pick my daughter up from daycare. If I smell, I shower. If I feel moisture in the armpit region, but it's not at the point where it's like a puddle, then I over odorant. I put the deodorant on top of the deodorant I already put it on. But you have to catch it early. If you procrastinate the over odorant, then you have to shower again, which is also fine. I'm not trying to gatekeep the laundry. I still can't believe there's some laundry agnostics in chat. If you feel like you can wear your workout shorts, well, here's the thing. Whether or not you can wear your workout shorts more than one time per workout, or like, in a row without washing them, is more like, do you care that you fucking smell bad? Because if so, you need to wear a different pair of shorts every day. Maybe you just don't care, and that's fine. Maybe you work out alone in like your garage, and you don't feel weird when you put damp shorts on and it touches your testicles, or it touches your underwear that probably has like more holes than a cheese grater, and touches your testicles through the 1 micrometer of cotton that's still there. But I think you might find honestly that you hit better PBs when you have clean shorts. I just feel, this sounds crazy. The cleaner, the shorter, and the tighter my shorts are, the better my ride is. I'm guaranteed to PB if I wear short, tight, clean shorts. I don't know. It's like a leg ring. Like it keeps the blood pooled up in the quads and the hammies. You got to wear non-cotton underwear. You're making a special trip now to like a synthetic underwear wholesaler. Probably have to cross an international border to get it. Sign a couple of forms. Declare it through customs when you come back in. And you're like, yeah, but joke's on you. Now I do laundry. Instead of doing laundry on Fridays, I do it on Sundays. Holy cow. I'm winning. My life is fully optimized. What the heck is this game? This is Alt F4, but it's Peepo Island. You can throw some rocks at the peepos. You gotta aim perfectly. I do, like, why'd they have to give him, like, the male pattern baldness bald spot, man? That's all I ask. It's because he's a streamer? Well, I guess we might as well take me back to the main menu so we can get started here in /marker. Is this the most realistic male physique in gaming? Well, I don't know, because I can only see his back right now. I do like the idle animation. I mean, I'll be honest. When I'm walking around Vancouver, I see a lot of this guy. I'll be honest, when I'm walking around Vancouver, I am a lot of this guy. It's kind of like, I mean, I appreciate that he's got a realistic body image here. He has hair off stream. I mean, if I let my hair grow out, I would have hair like this. And you only say that I wouldn't because you can't see the front of this guy's hair. But I've seen the front of this guy's hair because I have been this guy and had his hair. Like this guy, this is James Mercer from The Shins, okay? Don't let him trick you into thinking he's not bald. You know, I'm bald and loving it. This guy right here is bald and hating it, okay? But he's gonna come to terms with it one day. This is me at age 16. I didn't have the back bald spot at 16. I just had recession in the front, much like the leading data out of the U.S. manufacturing sector right now. But yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm 6'8". I was 6'8" in 12th grade. I was 135 pounds. So, I mean, you can see it for yourself. I was a little string bean right here. 5'11" confirmed. Okay, I'm actually 5'10", okay? I apologize that... motherfucker. I've apologized. I've been lying about that for a long time. But I told the truth about it for a long time before I lied. For like 10 years, I was like, I'm 5'10". And then one day, someone was like, how tall are you? And I thought it would be really funny to just say that I'm 6'8". And I gotta be honest, it felt great. And everyone believed me. Nobody was any the wiser. Even 5'10", 135 in the 12th grade. I mean, that's pretty, I mean, you can see it for yourself right here. This is a shot from me in the back on the way to English class. Why do you have English class when you're a native English speaker? Honestly, valid. They should really just call it a book class. Because like English class, you read books. Then in French class, you learn how to speak French. To call it English class is a bit of a misnomer, I think. Yeah, what do you do in French class if you're a native French speaker? Do you read Alexander Dumas? Do you read Les Mousquetaires Trois? That's not how I'm sorry, I accidentally inverted the subject-object-verb order. You know, this is a joke that it's not going to make sense to a lot of people, but I'm going to explain it to you to the point where it's no longer funny, just to get a little bit of +2, okay? They say you fully understand a language when you can start making jokes in it. One of the most popular meats for Korean barbecue is called samgyeopsal, okay? It's pork belly. It's called samgyeopsal because sam is 3, and it has 3 strips of fat on it. Okay? You can also get ogyapsal, which is 5 strips of fat. I'm not going to spell it out for you. You can figure it out. We got some ogyapsal on Saturday. My wife said, "How does it taste?" I said, "This is amazing. You can really taste the dugyap," which is the if you do O minus sam. Hold on. Get owned. You get dugyap. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that I think I'm a fluent speaker of Korean now. Can I also tell you, as long as I'm basically just talking and not looking at chat at all, I heard negative things about the Chris Nolan movie Tenet. I'm only halfway through, or does that mean that I've watched it through 2 full times? Because the movie plays with time a little bit. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I'm halfway through. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time watching it, but I also think that maybe one of the reasons I'm enjoying Tenet so much so far is because I struggled through 42% of The Gray Man, wondering if at any point it became compelling or watchable at all. And then I said, nah, fuck this. How did this shitty movie, no offense, because nothing against the actors. Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Billy Bob Thornton. Like, this movie has some serious star power, lots of charisma. Cost $200 million to make. $200 million. Looks like it was shot like by Corridor Digital, no offense. Like, that stuff they make is really impressive, but you know, it's not what I would expect from a $200 million movie necessarily. And just the most boring movie I think I've seen since I'm thinking of ending things. Sorry, I was farming too many +2s. I had to get some people not on my side anymore. It didn't feel right. It's just endless, like, mindless action with it's just not compelling. It made Tenet look like, at least from what I've seen so far, at least there's like a spark in Tenet. The Gray Man really feels like someone, because it's directed by the Russo brothers, right? The Gray Man feels like somebody told the Russo brothers, like, if you don't make an action movie, you're going to prison. What is this? This is Peepo Island. Hello. Hello. Kate, you ever see this game? I'm trying to play some of the Game of the Year contenders.
Oh my god, it's Peepo Island.
How did you know it's Peepo Island? No, the Peepos! They pushed me off the island! Kate, well, okay, so like on one of her flowers in our garden, there were some aphids. So she went to the drugstore to buy, I don't know, some aphid murdering juice. And she came back, she also had a head scratcher. Head massager. I don't know if this is like, if it's a normal head massager or if they went like turbo mode on it or something. But as soon as it gets past like the halfway point of the back of my head, it actually shuts off my brain. Like I'm getting animorphs. I'm getting yeerked. I no longer have control of like my body. People say it's supposed to feel really good. I've heard that as well. I don't think it feels that good. I think it feels like that feels okay, but then when you go like all the way down, it's actually like I don't know. I think maybe if you have hair, it's easier. Like you get a little insulation.
I thought you would die.
You thought I would die?
No, like you'd be like, ah!
Well, you all. I was wondering why you came in. I was like, clearly the daycare drop off went well. She's just coming in to say hi. Maybe she loves Peepo Island. What the heck are they doing? They're just standing here menacingly.
They're people G'ing.
They just keep spawning. It never ends.
They're just like minions.
They are just like minions. Have you seen someone play this?
Yeah.
How do I get to that thing?
No, but I haven't watched.
Oh, okay. Excuse me? There we go. Like, do I...
Why are you balding?
It's like a hormonal thing.
You were infecting your own character too.
Oh, they're scared of me now. Oh! Oh, you know what? Maybe I can make it onto the log. All right. See ya. I'm gonna see ya. I'm gonna come. You know what? I can kick. I know there's a kick button. Okay, and then I'm gonna see ya. Yep. You cannot make that. That's for sure.
Oh my god, he has like the tear too on his pants. It's just you. It's you.
That's me.
It's you if you didn't shave your head completely.
Yeah. This is me. If I worked at a bike shop in East Vancouver, for sure. Oh no! Honestly, I'm looking at that hair pattern. This is me if I owned a bike shop in East Vancouver.
I think whenever you die, you just gotta go like.
Physics. Hello. I think I'm insulated from it now.
What the heck?
Because we did.
Because of the headphones.
It might actually. You might be right. Because like I can feel some connection to the earth because I have the Sennheisers on. Okay.
I thought you would die.
I'm honestly didn't feel that bad that time. I don't know what I was thinking there. Did you see my neck get stretched out to Taffy? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Doctor Strange 2 was actually great. Nobody at me. That's what I said, man. Honestly, the people who are like Doctor Strange 2 was like a 6 out of 10. I honestly don't understand how you see that movie and don't think it's like an 8 or a 0. I think you're into what it's doing or you're not into what it's doing. But if you really, if you want to watch any movie and be like, this movie's good, just watch 45 minutes of The Gray Man before it. And you'll be like, holy shit, I thought this movie that was not that good was ass, but it turns out it's actually one of the best movies I've ever seen. I was stunned at how much I was just bored by The Gray Man. I mean, I didn't expect it to be great because it's a Netflix movie to begin with, but like it's so bad. Was the man actually... Oh my god, I saw his face. Now I'm a believer. I don't know. I don't know who is made for. Like, why is Netflix so ass at making movies? He's not gray. I don't even understand why it's called The Gray Man. It's because he's like operating, you know, like in the space between right and wrong or something. I don't know. Maybe later on in the movie, you know, after I turned it off, they explain it. You excited for Oppenheimer? Well, here's the thing. Is there going to be like some kind of action scene? Like some kind of pseudo sci-fi action scene where like people are robbing the Manhattan Project and they use like a device to freeze people? But like carefully when you freeze people, because you may find you get frozen yourself, it makes it very hard for Leonardo DiCaprio to have like a normal marriage or something like that. I feel like I'm not that interested in Chris Nolan doing like a fairly like straight up biographical film. Like the Chris Nolan movies I want is basically like a handsome man with a gadget doing stuff. That's all every Chris Nolan movie, well, I was gonna say every Chris Nolan movie I like is like that, but that's not true. Insomnia is really good, and the only gadget that Al Pacino has in that is the Midnight Sun, an inability to sleep. Memento, his gadget is not remembering things. His gadget is the tattoos. That's the thing. Handsome guy with a gadget. That's my Chris Nolan. That's his raison d'etre, in my opinion. I don't want to see him just. It's the same as like who did First Man again? It was Damien Chazelle, right? Apparently, First Man is like really good, but I don't want to see that. I'll just read his Wikipedia article. I want you to make a movie that makes me love Los Angeles or like hate but also revere intense music schools. Like that's what I want. Where's Whiplash 2? Where we see what happens after the concert. I still don't know. How's Miles Teller doing after what happened in Whiplash 1? I mean, I need to know. They left us on a cliffhanger. And also, where's his gimmick? Like Damien Chazelle, okay? Handsome guy with a gimmick. Miles Teller, his gimmick, the drums. J.K. Simmons, his gimmick, being a sociopath, but also being like really good at his job. La La Land, what's Ryan Gosling's gimmick? Playing the piano. His gadget is a piano. Dude, honestly, in La La Land, when he joins John Legend's band, and then, it's a great laugh out loud moment. One of AFI Institute's top 100 laugh out loud moments of the 2010s. I would have stuck it out with that band 100%. If Maroon 5 sent me an email and they were like, we want you to press play on like the fake DJ booth for our concerts and we'll pay you like an infinite amount of money, I would be like, yes, let's do it. It honestly sounds like a pretty easy job. I'm sure you get tired of touring at some point, but still, John Legend, cringe or no? I don't know anything about John Legend except that he's a great singer and he has one of the worst Sesame Street songs that they play often. Like, will.i.am has a better Sesame Street song than John Legend. But John Legend, obviously, at least more talented vocally than will.i.am. But his Sesame Street song is just too... it's just not good. Now, many people will say you can't judge an artist exclusively based on their output on Sesame Street. Well, that's where you're wrong, okay? Is it Branch to Branch? Sesame Street song tier list? Oh, man. I gotta wait for more people to have kids first and then start watching Sesame Street. Top tier songs, Billy Porter, Friends with the Penguin. Goes insanely hard. Trying to think of like what else is up there. They might not be my favorite songs, but I'm never mad when Haley Steinfeld is on, or however you pronounce her name. You know, True Grit lady. And she's doing I Wonder What If Let's Try. I'm never mad when Maren Morris comes on and we're singing Oops Whoops Wait Aha or anything like that. Those are just... There's a reason they play them all the time. Elmo's song, I laugh every time, but I also get a little pissed off. But I get pissed off because it's la 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 la, la 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 la, Elmo's song. Wait, this is the song, la 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 la, Elmo's song. I wrote the music, I wrote the words, that's Elmo's song. But then, Big Bird is like, I wish I had a song, and Elmo says, try mine. And then he goes, this is the song, la 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 la, Big Bird song. And Snuffy looks at the camera and like dims one eyelid and says, it works. I laugh every time. Of course it works. It's 2 syllables. It's not a reused bit. You asked me a question again. You said, what about Elmo's song? It's called You Set 'Em Up, I Knock 'Em Down. What about Rubber Ducky by Daveed Diggs? Okay, I haven't seen it. I have seen the Rubber Ducky celebrity montage. I don't want to reuse a bit. But this is where I said, I don't like this singer who has half of her hair is white and half of her hair is black. And then everyone said that's Sia. And I said, yes, I don't think I like Sia. I don't know anything. I know she does Chandelier, which is a virtuosic vocal performance. I got nothing against that, but she is not doing great stuff in Rubber Ducky. Anderson .Paak, I forget his song, but I remember that he's playing the drums during it. I have to say, from what I remember, it wasn't my favorite Sesame Street song, but it was still, it's not that bad. And he's obviously a talented artist, don't get me wrong. Thoughts on the Elmo-Rocco feud? Well, I think Elmo's totally right in the Elmo-Rocco feud, man. Like, Zoe's allowed to think that, like, her rock is actually, like, talking to her or whatever. And by allowed, I mean, like, I guess I wouldn't stop her mostly because well, that's bad. That's bad. Mostly because, like, you know, life's too short for that kind of stuff. However, as soon as you start feeding Rocco the cookie that Elmo wants, and Zoe's like, no, that's Rocco's cookie, you can't have it. Like, that's where you cross the line. You're now, like, you're negatively impacting Elmo's life for, like, an inanimate object. So you can't have that. I'm sorry. That makes you the asshole. I mean, that's all I got. Elmo's inanimate too? No, within the world of Sesame Street, Elmo's a living creature. He's 3.5 years old. And his dad plays the saxophone, okay? Like, don't say that shit to me. That's hurtful. I'll start saying hurtful stuff back to you, like, you know, Fluffy D. Luffy's not real. And One Piece is just a damn comic book. You know, so we've been watching, like, we're trying to find kid-friendly shows, right? Peppa Pig's great. Sesame Street is goated. She really likes Pikachu. So we've been watching a little bit of the Pokemon, like, anime from when I was a child. That show is actually insane to watch as an adult. Like, in the episode where Ash goes to the Pewter City gym to compete against Brock, Pikachu gets his ass kicked by Onix, okay? Brock says, Onix, stop! Because he doesn't want to literally kill Pikachu. Great, thank you for that. Oh, motherfucker. I really appreciate that. But then what does Ash do? Well, first off, he's pissed off. He said, you should have just killed her, or killed Pikachu. I don't know if Pikachu is... You know what, let's not even get into it. It's not worth it. But then, he says, I feel like I gotta pause. Okay, there is no pause. He, to train his Pikachu, he fucking hooks it up to a power plant, puts electroshock electrodes on Pikachu's cheek, and then starts running on a water wheel to generate power to shoot into the most sensitive part of Pikachu's body. Like, he literally tortures his companion in order to raise its power level. And for, like, the first 30 seconds, Pikachu is in extreme pain. And Ash is like, don't worry about it, Pikachu. It's, like, all worth it. It's all gonna be worth it. So first off, this guy's, like, is psychotic, right? Like, that's not the way to treat, like, a friend. But then also, later, he brings Pikachu back. Pikachu does very well against Geodude, right? It crushes Geodude somehow. Still is getting destroyed by Onix until the sprinkler system gets set off. At which point, Onix fucking dies because it's a ground-type Pokemon or a rock-type Pokemon. You know, whatever. Semantics. Then, rather than Ash being like, oh, like, this is, like, unfair, he fucking zaps the shit out of him. And then even though Brock showed mercy, come on. Even though Brock showed mercy and didn't kill Pikachu, he's about to kill Onix with a devastating Thunder Shock. And then Brock's, like, 20 siblings hold him back. He thinks it's his conscience. He says, I can't do it. My conscience is holding me back. But nah, my man is actually, like, about to... I don't even know where I'm going there. He's about to send, like, the kill order, but then, like, a bunch of little kids hold him back. And then Brock resigns. Is actually, like, he's not a good guy. He's... Ash is like I mean, he's only 10. Like, I'm not saying he should go to prison or anything, but, like, he's actually, like, a huge asshole in the show. His mom kicked him out. I mean, his mom was pretty loving in the first episode. He just happened to oversleep his alarm. I mean, even, like, I don't know if it's, like, the third episode or the second episode or whatever, but, like, oh, that's not good. There's just some shit that makes no sense. I get that it's an anime, but it makes no sense within the context of the games. Like, in episode 3, Ash has to fight Team Rocket's Coughing and Ekans simultaneously, and the only healthy Pokemon that he has is a Caterpie. He's like, there's no shot. I'm like, there's no shot. Then he goes Caterpie string shot and string shots the coughing so he becomes like a ball of spider web, and then he like falls to the earth and faints or something like that. It's crazy. This shit does not work in the games. Can you imagine you're like a kid, you loved the show? Well, you're like, don't worry, I got the best move of all time, string shot. What is it? Your opponent's visibility is moderately reduced? James was kind of a baddie though. I mean, honestly, a man in a crop top is like, it's a look. It's not a look I'm getting away with anytime soon, but it's a look for sure. Jesse, like, I don't know, man. It's like something about the hair. Okay, what's the play? We're gonna land on that. Oh, fuck. It's alright, it happens. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. James, he's a baddie, man. I'm telling you, it's the male crop top. There's something about it. I think you can only rock it if you're in incredible shape or in absolutely horrible shape. And I haven't committed to a side yet. Even though I hit the Peloton every day, definitely not in incredible shape. I mean, just yesterday I ate half of a loaf of sourdough bread to myself. Why? I was like, you know what? It's been a long week or so. I deserve this. But then also, like, I'm not going to get into the details. That's for Kate to do on her stream if she wants to. But like I mentioned last week, how we've been trying to get my father-in-law, like a medical appointment, like a doctor's appointment, because he's been having some troubling neurological symptoms, okay? We finally convinced him on Sunday to go to the emergency room. On Sunday, he went to the emergency room, but we knew it was going to be like 6 hours, right? So we had him go first, and we're like, we'll meet you there. So he went first. He showed up at like 10 a.m. We drive all the way out to this hospital, like, you know, quite a distance away. And then Kate calls him and is like, where are you? And he said, oh, like I got checked in and they told me to wait anywhere, so I drove home. Kate was not very pleased with this turn of events. The reason we had to be there, and like this is very I'm not bringing this up just to bring it up, it's very central to the issue. Like Kate's dad doesn't speak English well enough to probably handle what a doctor is going to say, right? Because you need to follow their instructions very specifically, and you need to know like what they're saying in order to relay it to the rest of the family. So that's why Kate had to be there. And I was there just because, hey, it's the weekend. You spend time with your family, right? Anyway, so then we're like, well, what the heck, come back. So he came back, and then Kate talked to the people blocked me. Kate talked to the staff, and the staff was like, like we called his name like 3 times, and he wasn't here, so we pulled him off of the list. And then she was like, yeah, he went home because he thought when you said wait anywhere, like you didn't mean the 20 chairs in the he didn't think that it was pick a chair. He thought that it was like, oh, it's like when you check into a restaurant and they're like, it'll be 45 minutes, like why don't you just take a couple walks around the block or whatever. So luckily they got him in like right after that. They were they basically let him skip the line, which I appreciate. And then he got like good medical care, and he got like whoops, I'm stupid. That was not smart. And he got like scanned and blood tested and stuff. He got a clean bill of health with some other, like some things that he can do at home to help minimize his symptoms and stuff like that, which was nice. But then I do have to be honest, there was another part of me that was like, I'm glad my father-in-law is getting good medical attention. But I was also like, where was that shit when I needed it? Because I was fucking dying and nobody cared at the hospital. They were like, what the hell are you doing here? Get out of here. You're 33 years old. And I was also like, you know what? Fuck this, dude. I'm never going to a Vancouver hospital if I got an emergency ever again. I'm driving out to New West. You can catch me at the New West Hospital. Next time I got a serious problem, go to the closest hospital. That's a foolish decision. I will be going to New Westminster, where the population is 20% of Vancouver's, but the infrastructure is 200% better, and I will be going to New West. No, I would not cross the border and go to Bellingham, okay? I wouldn't be caught dead. Even if the hospital is probably Bellingham's #1 tourist attraction. Because when people go to Bellingham, they're like, what is this horrible town? So they eat cyanide and then go to the hospital, and they're like, what the heck? If I'd known the hospital was this nice, I would have started my trip here instead of at the damn Tulip Festival Museum, whatever the hell you got going on in Bellingham. Western Washington University's football stadium. I think, you know, not to bring this up every single time, but I think the doctors found a loophole, okay? Like, I feel like, once you're admitted to the hospital, like, once the doctor has laid eyes on you, they're bound by the Hippocratic Oath. They have to treat you. But if they employ a bunch of administrative staff to look at you in their stead, and they never see how unhealthy you are and how in need of care, then it's like, how was I to know? So I think they found a way to get around the Hippocratic Oath by basically hiring like a bunch of bouncers that are like, you're not sick enough to see Dr. Gretzky. Sorry, I just had to think of just a basic name real quick. He's very correct. Come on, that can't actually be correct, but I'm not like other streamers. When people tell me my take is good, I immediately get suspicious. I don't default to like, oh, I knew that already. I'm the smartest person in the world. I'm like, hold on. Twitch chat agrees with me. Where did I go wrong here? Why won't Canada let the US have all dressed chips? I don't know, man. I feel like it's because America wants to just argue about everything. Not to say that the rest of the world online is innocent, but like, we're like, in Canada, we're like, please trust us. All dressed chips are amazing. Then they're like, describe them to us. Well, I don't know. It's like they're a little tangy. They got some slight sweetness and definitely an overt savory umami flavor. They're like, that just sounds like eating a barbecue and ketchup chip at the same time. And I'm like, okay, fucking fine. Do that then. Never suggest an improvement when instead of having an all-in-one solution, we could just make a hodgepodge of things that are roughly the same really inconveniently right now. Maybe it's not even a North American thing. It's just a human thing. I feel like anytime... This is not about the blockchain, I promise. But anytime like an innovation is suggested, people are like, that's stupid. We don't need that shit. And they make fun of it for like a long time. And then 10 years later, you're like, well, I'm glad they persisted. I was a real smartphone hater. I was like, I don't need a smartphone. I already have a cell phone and a laptop. This device has no utility for me. Now, I mean, what? Not even now. Like, basically, as soon as I got my first smartphone, I was like, that was a dumbass take. But you know, like as a human being, you have like an inability to really accurately see what the world is going to be like, you know, 5 years from now, much less like 10, 15, 50 years from now. So you're like, you know, in the current world, this thing doesn't really fit that well. I don't understand it. Okay, I got hit by something. And then, you know, once you actually use it and try it, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then I feel like people use that as a justification for like every bad idea eventually being good. Like the #1 thing you hear, I mean, this is like more investing pilled. But whenever someone's like, dude, you gotta invest in this company, they're making, it's a smart fridge that automatically makes ice cubes in the shape of like, whatever. Just make up some horrible idea. And then when people are like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my entire life, people are like, you know what? They made fun of the guy who invented the car too. Like, yeah, okay. I don't know if that part is even true, or if that's just something you want to believe, but sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. Some inventions, like, are made fun of and then turn out well, and some inventions are, like, demonstrably stupid, and then they never work out. It's not like every bad idea is destined to work out. Like, you're smarter than that, I hope. I mean, people always talk about Google Glass, too. I don't want to make this, like, a hail corporate thing. I would like to thank Google for not releasing Google Glass. I'm really glad that that's a product that doesn't exist. I think if that had come out and been good, we would be in an even worse world than we're in right now. I think part of the problems that we have right now is that we're so suffused with information on like a second by second basis. Like, it's not that the human brain was not built to like process it all, right? Can you imagine that not being a requirement? Like, you don't even have to look at a screen anymore. Instead, it's just in your face at all times. Like, I don't need to know what the weather is like in Marrakesh right now. I'm just trying to get a cup of coffee. And it's gonna show you ads. Oh, dude. Don't even get me started, man. Don't even get me started. I have my invention. Bullet ball is going to be an Olympic sport. You'd be the guy back in the 1800s going, nah, man, we just need a faster horse. And that's why my Bitmoji ape is worth $735,000 as of November 2021. I don't know. I haven't looked at the data recently. I imagine it only goes up, right? I would like to invest in Bullet Ball. It's too late. You missed out. It's already it's played in the World Accessibility Games. It's peaking as we speak. You suck, LOL. Even though it's on the screen, I still take offense to it. When someone says it, I feel bad. You don't suck? That makes me feel even worse. I don't need you to tell me I don't suck. I already know that. I did laugh when Purge on someone on an online dating site or app is trying to get him to day trade crypto, so he keeps like stringing them along. And he was talking about Dogecoin. He's like, I know you're trying to get me to buy other stuff, but I love dogs, so I bought Dogecoin. And then the guy was like, or the person I should say was like, no, I'm talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and like one other, USDT, the stable currencies. And I'm like, what are the stable currencies? Bro, you look at the Dixie lately, even the USD ain't a stable currency. Because it's going up, but anyway. Explain leg rot? Well, my thinking is that my simultaneous Campylobacter salmonella infection led to like the infection spreading because it wasn't tackled with an appropriate amount of acumen in time, and it started to lead to like, I don't know, some blood poisoning that spread the infection to my leg. However, my gastroenterologist and my internal medicine specialist still are convinced that I have Crohn's disease, which comes with a well, I guess they're not convinced, because I have to go back for that next colonoscopy. But there's apparently a side effect of Crohn's disease called like erythema something that gives you like red nodules on your leg. And I was like, these are not red nodules. I have the stanky leg. Like these are not like bulbs that are like hard. I'm like, my leg is turning red, and then it's like itchy for like a day, and then it's like dying. Yeah, erythema nodosum. Probably not how it's actually pronounced, so I apologize for that. But like, I'm still, even though the infection is over and all of my symptoms are gone completely, people are like, the doctors are like, okay, I'm going off too much. But they're like, no. I know when we gave you the antibiotics, it completely cured you. However, they're so attached to their hypothesis of it being Crohn's disease that I gotta get my whole freaking body with the snake going through every orifice in order to convince them that it's not Crohn's. And then they're like, oh, your colonoscopy, it looked good, but there's just one part that was inflamed that we want to check out in 3 months. And I'm like, yeah, it was inflamed because I had the infection. And that was even more inflamed because you poked it with a damn snake, man. But I genuinely don't think I have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Because you know when you have like, you go on WebMD and you have like 3 symptoms for something, like a disease with a 1 in 100,000 incidence rate, and you're like, I definitely have that. This is the exact opposite. Every symptom I've ever looked up for ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, I'm like, I literally have none of them. I have 0. But I'm not trying to be rude to the doctors, because maybe they'll surprise me and they'll do the next colonoscopy and be like, yeah, holy cow, you got both of them. But instead, like, I'm pretty sure it's all related to the infection. They're like, yeah, whatever, well, your doctor ordered this, so we're going to do it anyway. And then, whatever, I don't mind. It's good that I'm not a baby. You want to give me another colonoscopy? Go ahead, give me another colonoscopy. See if I care. Lab results came in. I don't know how to say this, but you're bald. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Again, maybe I got something wrong with me. I would rather know than not know, which is why I'm going through the diagnostics, but just complaining about it endlessly. But I really think that I think I got a nightmare infection that was so bad that the doctors refused to believe that it's just like the bacteria. They're like, this shit doesn't happen in the first world. As a result, there must be something more. And even as every test comes back negative, they're like, well, it couldn't have just been that you ate like raw pork off the spatula accidentally while you were cooking some quesadillas. It had to be. Because no idiot on earth would do that. That's just, it's the dumbest thing we've ever heard. But test results are in. Turns out you suck. I still don't know what gave it to me. I was stoked. My gastroenterologist said, she said, what do you think gave it to you? And I said, I don't know. And she said, yeah, usually that's the case. And she also, like, maybe this is copium, but she said, people always think that you have to, like, the milk has to smell sour or the meat has to be raw. But actually, like, you can get food poisoning pretty easily. I was like, thank you, doctor. I don't know if that's what happened here, but it makes me feel a little better. Then she did say viruses and bacteria rule the world. And I was like, whoa. Whose side are you on? Anyway, time to stick 2 fingers into your anus and do a little fishhook maneuver, and then we'll stick the camera up there, and before you know it, the sedative's gonna kick in. Alright, see you in 20 minutes. I like the Voros twins. Every time I see one of their videos on my timeline, I watch it. What, they're like 8 seconds long each? Throw a couple branches in a pan. Other twin comes in. What are you doing? Mom said that's a non-stick pan. I chuckled to myself and say, good one. Are they still going to throw you through a table? I don't know. That's what I suggested to them in like May 2020. It was like, hey, when this pandemic stuff blows over, why don't you throw me through like a table? That'll be funny. They were in Vancouver and you missed them? My brother in Christ, they live in Vancouver. I'll catch them again. But, like, then the thing is, like, the pandemic never ends, and then, like, since then, I've gained 30 pounds, lost 40 pounds, gained 15 pounds. Like, I don't know if my body's ready to, like, handle being thrown through a folding table or whatever right now. I had a child, you know, like, a lot of stuff has changed in the past, like, 37 months or whatever. It's been a while. But I wish them the best of luck. They also, this was like, I'm not, and this is the opposite of me saying I made them. But when I followed them, they sent me a very nice DM. And like, I replied with a very nice DM. And then they said, hey, we're just getting started, like in this weird content creation thing. Do you have any advice? And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about this whole TikTok thing. You guys should stream more on Twitch. And now they're like 4 million viewers on TikTok, 4 million followers on TikTok or something. Thank God they looked at this advice and said, this guy has no idea what he's talking about at all. Let's just keep doing what's working for us. Definitely glad they marched to the beat of their own drum there. I know they do stream, but I think they did what was right for them. I don't know, TikTok, because I stopped using it when they said they were going to ban it in the US, which turns out it was a lie. But they started having like a TikTok creator fund or something. But the way I understand it is like, if you had millions of views on TikTok, you know, actually, now that I think about it, I read like an interview with a TikTok influencer that was like, she has like 12 million followers on TikTok, and she made like $1,500 a month from the platform, which is like, the monetization there is horrendous. But they're also, like, I mean, someone's watching 6 seconds of your video. I get it. It's not like me where they're watching 12 hours and they're like, this is the best shit I've ever seen in my life. It's not like life-changing content, you know? So I was watching Kate scroll through like Instagram Reels the other day, which is like the Instagram TikTok competitor, because Instagram is the only thing keeping, you know, Facebook from completely imploding right now as a corporation, which would probably be good for society, and by probably I mean definitely. I was like, there were videos that were like so boring that had like 700,000 likes. It would just be a video of like an animal at the zoo Like not even doing anything cool, just like a sea turtle in the aquarium swimming. It would have 700,000 likes and like 20 million views. And you're like, what the hell? Animals are cute, don't get me wrong, but like this is like nothing. But on the other hand, I was like, holy shit, we got to start making Instagram reels, man. That's crazy. Missing out on like free juice. You should see the videos I get recommended on Facebook. Dude, I don't even want it. I mean, I'm sure that it's even worse. But yeah, they're posting like 2006 era YouTube videos on Instagram reels. I mean, some of them were funny, don't get me wrong. But like, best restaurant for someone visiting Vancouver? I don't know, dude. I don't know if all local Reddits. I'm dead. Yep. I don't know if all local subreddits are like this. There was a thread on r/Vancouver that was like, if your worst enemy was visiting Vancouver, what overpriced bad restaurant would you have them visit to sabotage them? And then like, not all of the restaurants in there, but many of the restaurants in there were like some of my favorite restaurants in the city. But then there was another thread that was like, what are your favorite restaurants in the city? And then like, it was the same list. Like, I don't think people actually suggested the right restaurant to sabotage your worst enemy, which is you go to Global, which is like an unbelievably expensive, bland, identityless, stainless steel culinary prison. That's, oh, and okay, actually the top comment was the restaurant with a view at the top of Grouse Mountain, which is 100% true. I went there with Kate and Kate's family once, and it took us like 2 hours to get served like normal meals, and the meals were bad. The only reason that that restaurant exists is because like if you get a table there, you get to look down on the rest of the city, which most of the people eating there do, but this time literally. You ever hear of a place in Vancouver called Chickpea? Yes, it's one of the most revered vegan vegetarian restaurants in the city. I've never been, but I've heard nothing but good things. I think where you would eat in Vancouver as a tourist depends on how long you're there. But when I think of like what food is emblematic of Vancouver right now, I would say you need to have ramen once. You can go to Santoka, you can go to Marutama, you can go to Kintaro, you can go to Dambo. Any one of them will get you there. You should probably have like a brunch one day and recognize that it'll probably take you from like 9:30 until noon by the time you actually get into and then out of the restaurant. I don't know where you go for that. Maybe you go to the Jam Jar Cafe. Or maybe you, wait, is it Jam Jar or is it Jam? I can't remember. Anyway, I don't know. Just go to TripAdvisor. I don't know. Sometimes Kokoro hits different. Is Kokoro the Maze Soba place? I only had it one time, and I was like, this is pretty good. And then I've never been back. But I was like, hey, Maze Soba, pretty tasty. And then anytime I'm thinking about getting Maze Soba, I'm like, I'd rather just get ramen. And then, I don't know, like if you wanted to ball out, there are some really, really good restaurants in Vancouver. You could have like one ball out meal. Botanist is pretty amazing, but it is like, it's hoity-toity haute cuisine. So if you're not into that, you're probably not gonna enjoy it. Blue Water Cafe is really good. Miku came up a lot in the thread that was like overpriced restaurants to send your nemesis to. Honest, I'm just being straight up with you. I think that green is not their color. I think they're jealous of the Miku diners. Miku's good as hell in my opinion. Is it overpriced? Yeah, welcome to BC, dumbass. Everything's overpriced here. There's better sushi for cheaper. Well, but where though? Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Because what Miku does is like, it's not rare anymore. Like it feels like every sushi restaurant, I mean, even Sushi California, which is like cheap and half decent, has like an aburi dish now that admittedly is cheaper than Miku. I mean, it's literally, it's all the same shit, right? They just put like a little glaze on the salmon and then hit it with a blowtorch. It do be delicious though. There was a really good restaurant, a Japanese restaurant in Kitsilano I went to a couple times called Zest. But I think it went out of business now. Zest had a pretty, for a nice occasion, for a special date or dinner, had a very nice omakase for sure. Dude, we're Vancouver posting, which means we gotta change games. But it's, okay, it's exactly top of the hour. Okay, at some point we should change game. Please let me get one more good try. But I saw someone say Brass Neck Brewery is S tier. I mean, when I'm in the neighborhood, that's my go-to place. No doubt about it. That's like the you know, if you're BC local, you probably follow the CBC reporter Justin McElroy, who does like you know, brackets of local stuff, local landmarks, best burger in the city, blah blah blah. He ranked every brewery in Southeast British Columbia. There were like 175 of them. Not that Justin McElroy. Look. The only reason I didn't mention it is because I've already seen like 2,000 mix-ups of it. I'm sick of the joke already. As soon as he started the list, I was like, I bet Brass Neck's gonna be number one. 7 days later. I mean, there's nothing like your favorite brewery or restaurant or whatever winning the Battle Royale and being like, you know what? This feels vindicating. I mean, I talk a nice game about Driftwood's Fat Tug, but if we're talking about actual best beer in the city, Brass Neck's Passive Aggressive is... What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't think it's up there. I think it is there. I think it's number one. How was your holiday yesterday? I'm getting like pissed off a little bit. Not that people make fun of BC Day. It really is just a holiday to like have a holiday. But like that's kind of sick in its own right. We could use more of those, honestly. But like I went to Apollo's chat and I said like, hey, Apollo. And people were like, aren't you supposed to be enjoying your holiday? It's 1 day off. Like, what do you want me to do? Fly around the world? I don't understand what do you do when you have a Monday off? Fucking, like, get some brunch and then, I don't know, just enjoy. I was just, literally my daughter was eating lunch. People were like, get out of here, enjoy your holiday. Okay, I don't know, give me $1 million so I can get a supersonic flight around the earth or something. Like, I don't understand what you want from me. Why you holiday posting or holiday gatekeeping? Hold on, I made it. Hang out with the boys and play EDH? I have a wife. What do you mean hang out with the boys and play? Don't call it EDH. Come on. It's called Commander. Normies call it Commander. EDH tells me I don't want to play Commander with you. You probably got a 7-8 Teferi. Every time you blink, you lose 1 life. But like, I don't know. I feel like people don't fully understand. Well, like one thing is we just also got back from a cruise literally like 8 days ago. When you have a toddler, like a day off is kind of just like a day on in a different way. Like people are like, what'd you do on your holiday? What do you think I did on my holiday? I went to the park. I bought groceries. I looked after my kid. Like it's... The daycare was closed. Ergo, my wife and I were the daycare. Park's kind of dope. It's pretty cool. Dude, okay, so we went to a splash park in Vancouver. There was like on Granville Island, which is like a prime tourist destination. There's like it's like a small water park. It has like sprinklers. It's got big geysers that shoot off water. Lots of kids running around. Ha ha ha. Had a great time. Right within the splash park, there's a playground, and this is where I made my tweet where I was like, forget road rage, I'm getting playground rage, and we're just gonna stand here babbling, by the way. Any other parents in the chat right now that can validate me for this one? Why are there so many parents that are shitty at taking care of their kids at the playground? I'm not saying they're bad parents, but just at the playground, you know, there's a little jungle gym, there's 2 slides, there's like 1 staircase that you go up. Kids will be kids. I don't blame the kids. They're like 6, 7 years old at oldest. Like they're gonna go sicko mode from time to time. One kid just lays down on the slide, completely blocking it. Parents literally at the base of the slide, looking at their kid, looking at each other. So yeah, whatever you want to do tonight is okay. Like if you want to have a low-key night, you can just come over. We got alcoholic beverages. We got non-alcoholic, looking at the kid, non-alcoholic beverages. We got snacks. We could like maybe grill something up. Or if you wanted to go like a little harder, we could see if we can get a reservation downtown. And then like, so the kid's just blocking the slide. Our daughter is standing at the top politely because, I mean, I think it's her innate personality, but also we taught her well. All of a sudden, I was very proud of my wife. Kate does not like to do this. She went up to the kid and said, hey, could you go down the slide? And he said, I am going down the slide, just slowly. And then she said, can you go down faster? Other people are trying to use it. and then he just like didn't respond and just kept like staying there. Parents in earshot of the conversation. Yeah, so I don't know, like, what do you think? Like, we could always swing by, like, the butcher shop before we go back if you want. Like, it's whatever you guys are cool. Literally, just say to your kid, hey, go down the slide. Like, your kid behaving badly is bound to happen because he's a child. But, like, you got to correct that behavior. Otherwise, they're going to grow up to be, like, you know, really annoying. Like, really, really annoying. And then, so my kid is about to go down the slide. The slide at the bottom has to be clear. Because if my kid takes them out at the knees and they smash their head open on the slide, you know, I'm going to be sued. And also the kid might have like permanent injuries or whatever. So my kid's getting ready to go down the slide. And then she's like 7. She's going up the slide. And then I'm like, okay, wait your turn, honey. Wait your turn. Like, I'm talking to my daughter. I'm not calling this strange kid honey. I'm like, wait your turn, honey. Wait for the slide to be clear. The kid gets to the top and then gets behind my daughter and then says, I want to go down the slide, and squeezes past my daughter to go before her. I held out my hand like this, and then I raised my eyebrows like I was talking to an adult, and I said, could you wait your turn? And then she looked at me and she said no, and she just went down the slide anyway. So of course I moved my hand out of the way. I'm not going to assault a child. And I look around for the parent. It's even worse. They're nowhere to be found. I don't know where they are. Probably one of the 8 people looking at their phone on the opposite side of the jungle gym. Like, there's people out there just taking their kids to the park and like not trying to teach them how to be members of society. Oh my God, it was so much. It was so much further than it needed to go. People are like, oh, I hate kids. Well, yeah, okay. They do behave badly. I think it's a false idea to believe that, like, a child is always going to be 100% well behaved. Like, there's a lot of rules you got to learn to be a functioning member of society. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm alive. But, like, the thing is, you know, when your kid misbehaves at the park, you look at the parent and you say sorry, and then they see that you're making an effort to correct that behavior, and they say that's okay because you know how it is. But then there's, like, some parents who I think are like, it's Saturday. Do whatever you want. And it just drives me fucking crazy, man. With, like, your kids are only going to be... First off, you should try to make them in harmony with the world around them. Like, you should have them not be, like... You know, you don't want to raise customer service nightmares. You know, you don't want to raise the kind of people that are going to go into Tim Hortons and be like, do you know how much money I spend here? But secondarily, your kids are only little for like such a small period of your life. And you're guys at the park talking about like absolute nonsense while your kids are like inhibiting everyone around them. Like, for the love of God, please, like, just be a parent for like a little bit. It's actually like fun. Okay, good timing. It's probably their 5th kid. Well, then they fucking shouldn't be so ass at it by now. They should be like pros. I don't care if you're done with being a parent, then don't have another kid, idiot. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm so tired of raising my kids. This is kid number 6. Okay, fucking, like, figure it out, idiot. No one's making you have the kids. Oh, I'm so tired. It's kid number 7. Okay, well, if you were tired at kid number 3, then you should have fucking stopped. So now you're gonna raise like 4 bad people just because you're lazy? Get a clue, bozo. Again, I'm getting so many people are agreeing with me. It's making me suspicious. I'm just stunned by like if you're like at the playground and your kid's misbehaving and you're on the phone and your phone call is like, and then move the scalpel 2 inches to the left and make a small incision to insert the stent, then I'd be like, oh shit, hey, take your time. But it's always like, yeah, I don't know, because like we were at the fireworks last night and we've got tickets for the fireworks tonight, but I don't know, is 2 fireworks in 1 week too many fireworks? Well, we could always just watch the fireworks from the balcony as well. And I'm just like, your kid is like messing it up for everybody else. Hey, you want to jump there? That's what you want to do. No need to helicopter parent your child. No, I agree. But like, if your kid's messing things up, you should parent your child. Otherwise, I'm parenting your child. Like, you don't have to helicopter parent your child and like make all their phone calls for them until they're like 45 years old or whatever. But like if you want to be your kid's parent, then when your kid's misbehaving at the park and they're like 6, you got to give them some attention and sort that shit out. Otherwise, I'm your kid's dad now. Like, you literally just have to watch them. Like, you don't have to helicopter parent your kid all the time. You also don't have to look at your phone 24/7 either. Why I always laugh when people will say stuff to me or about me that is like overly adulatory. Like, it gives me too much credit. They'll say things like, we stan a streamer who like likes being a good dad. And I'm like, it's literally like 99% of being a good parent is just like giving your kid attention. Like when they go, daddy, 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 dad, then you go, yes, what is it? Whoa, you made a drawing of like a snake. That's so cool. It looks nothing like a snake, obviously. And then you give them some attention. You give them some support. When they behave badly, you say, hey, don't do that. Like, we wait our turn. And then, like, that's it. But I don't know. Maybe they're just like, some people are like, I'm a good parent the rest of the day. When we're at the park, I'm just gonna like ignore my kid and let them like cause. I mean, if your kid's like with their friends, you don't have to watch them 24/7. If they're in a public place, you gotta at least be like aware. Not for their own safety, but just so they don't piss off the people around them. And then grow up to be self-centered. Okay, that was not even close. I gotta give it one more try. I know I said it, but you're making it sound so easy. It is easy. The hard part is just doing it consistently. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's times when I'm like watching my daughter and I'm like, you know what? I just need this. And for like 15 minutes, I'll just play around like Super Auto Pets on my phone when she's stacking blocks. It's called self-care. But like most of the time, you gotta put some effort in. I mean, like that, maybe that's the double-edged sword of it, but like that's all you gotta do, but you gotta do it. I'm a dad. I feel like some parents pretend it's much harder than it is. Like, yeah, I don't disagree, but like it is and it isn't. You know, like what's harder? Winning the gold medal in the 100 meter dash or winning the gold medal in the marathon, right? Like, I don't want to say it's low effort, long duration, but it kind of is. A good parent doesn't lie to their kids. Definitely false. 100%. I'm living it right now. It's 100% demonstrably false. It's actually one of the worst takes on parenting I've ever heard. Here's a lie I tell my daughter. You can't eat cupcakes for dinner. That's a lie. Objectively, she could eat cupcakes for dinner. But as the cupcake gatekeeper, you can see why the phrasing was hard. I tell a little white lie so that she doesn't get juvenile diabetes and, you know, grow up to be like 20 and have a weird relationship with food and then blame me for that for the rest of her life. Instead, I take the damn L whenever I'm serving her dinner and deal with the fact that she's going to cry because I'm not giving her like 4 cupcakes in the hopes that when she grows up, she's going to have a healthier relationship with food and as a result, you know, respect what we were doing there. It's because it's the right thing to do. Also, it is a false dilemma. Like at the park, you don't need to be like laser focused on your child at all times. Unless they're like, you know, really young, obviously. But you know, you just check in on them like every 40 seconds or something. Oh! And be like, hey, knock that shit off. if they're messing with other people. If anybody's watching this with their young children, can you mute the stream for like the next 120 seconds? I'm going to talk about all of the childhood activities, such as the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, okay? If you could just mute it for like just a little bit. Santa, 100%. Because I don't want my kid to be the kid who's telling other kids in senior kindergarten that Santa doesn't exist. Let him enjoy it. Honestly, when people are like, I felt betrayed that my parents lied to me when I found out Santa wasn't real. Okay, really? Like when you were 11 years old, you felt like your parents weren't being rhetorically consistent or something like that? Like, so you've always been like this? I thought that it was just a recent thing due to like being overly online, having overly online syndrome. But apparently even as a child, you were like, I thought you told me not to respect liars and yet you told me Santa's real. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't buy it. Just let them have some fun with it, okay? Let them participate in the myth of Christmas. It's just a fun thing for a kid to do. It's not going to mess up their whole life. Easter Bunny? Sure. Easter Bunny's just kind of weird. Dude sort of like breaks into your house and leaves chocolate eggs around. I don't know. I'm kind of like agnostic on it. Tooth Fairy, I don't really understand. I guess it's a way to make it less scary for your kids when their teeth fall out. That's what Santa does? Bro, Santa might leave you a PS5. Easter Bunny's leaving you a damn Cadbury cream egg? Come on. When I was a kid, Santa brought my friend the Super Nintendo Mega Blaster. I don't even remember what it's called. Remember the cannon you put on your freaking... the Super Scope, that's it. He gave him a damn Super Scope, man. Easter Bunny gave me the Cadbury eggs. Wasn't even the Cadbury cream eggs, it was the candy-coated ones. Do not compare them. They are not the same. Maybe the Tooth Fairy is like Santa practice. Because you become like Solid Snake. You gotta remove a tooth from under your child's pillow and slip like a loony back there without them waking up. It seems crazy that like nobody has an experience of waking up a child via the Tooth Fairy antics. You feel like it would be like 1 in 10 kids would be like, oh yeah, I woke up when my dad tried to do it. And that's how I found out that the Tooth Fairy doesn't exist. We always left the tooth in a cup on the counter. Dude, I was an under the pillow guy. I don't know. Will we do the Tooth Fairy style? I'll do, honestly, whatever my wife tells me. I'm not... These are not the big questions of parenting, for sure. In the nicest way possible, you and the pug have the same vibe. What are you talking about? Just because he's going grr? He's like, grr. That's what makes us have the same vibe? Okay, if being cool is a crime, then just call me Jeffrey Dahmer. Hey, wait, don't call me Jeffrey. That guy, I think he ate people. I don't fully understand it, but I did see the meme du jour, if you will. The wife seeing the last peach and saying, oh, it's the last peach. My kids love peaches. I'll save this for them. And the husband seeing the peach and saying, I'm so fruit pilled. I'm a peach cell right now, and then eating it. It's a kind of a fantastic meme in many ways. I support it. It's not a meme. The lady hates her husband. That's her business. That's not mine. I don't concern myself with the affairs of others to that extent. My wife versus me when we see an episode of The Bear on the table. Okay, I like that you're mixing it up. I like that the memes are getting a little bit transformative now. It's not just have you watch The Bear. Now it's getting a little bit more comedy-celled. I love it. Would you eat the peach? Yeah, but I would go to the grocery store too, I guess, is like the... I got no problem. Well, I mean, it depends. There's food in the house that's my domain, and there's food in the house that's the baby's domain, and then there's food in the house that's Kate's domain, and then there's food in the house that's shared. Like, me and the baby both eat single-serving cheeses. If there's one single-serving cheese left in the fridge, then I think about it. I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing. Is it a Friday night? I'm eating the cheese because I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow morning. Big whoop. Is it Tuesday night? I'm not eating the cheese because we're going to be packing the baby's lunch before I can get back to the grocery store, so I save the last cheese for them. But I'm like never going to be... I'm never going to weather any insults for eating fruit out of the fruit bowl. Because be honest with yourself. When you buy fruit, what percentage of it gets put in the compost bin? Because it becomes unedible. You're like, oh, I want 1 apple, so you bought 2 pounds worth of apples. And then they sit in the damn... fruit bowl, because after 2 apples, you're like, I don't want to eat any of this shit anymore. I'd rather just eat some potato chips. So I think you should be, rather than being mad at anybody for eating the last piece of fruit, you should be like, holy cow, great job. We finished all the fruit this time. Let's go get some more. I'm going to be honest with you, by the way. Now that I know about, be a cheesy pot. Now that I know about 2 fish plus a pug equals level 2 fish, and it just looks cool, I'm going to overrate that and use that all the time. A beaver literally just has 1 more guaranteed stat point, but I'm like, yeah, but the fish can do something cool. Now all we need to do is see a pug, and you'll see every time you hit level 2, you see a pug instantly, so I'm not even worried. Huge. That's good ant luck. Probably not so good ant luck. Never mind, amazing ant luck. Sounds good to me. Just a simple question. Where's my pug? Oh, we don't need a pug. That's what's so messed up about this. You might as well exist for a second. I would rather get a pug and get the temporary one buff for everything. Like, look, see, it's so cool, man. God, that would have been so sick if I got to do that. I don't know if it would have made any difference, but I'm so jealous right now. Anyway, you should just level. Definitely, you're still gone. Oh no, why don't we do this first? Like, don't be that stupid. And then run a brief little honey badger. The same guy 2 times in a row. He's gotta level up his fish in my face again. Even though we won, I feel like I lost. Don't want it. Not interested. Thank God we don't have to see the level up right in my damn face again. Don't break my melon. Oh my God, it doesn't matter, but like I'm pissed because that's the worst thing that could have happened, even though it didn't really matter that much. That pizza tweet went hard. Thank you. Well, like, so here's the thing. Kate has this cookbook. It's like the Pokemon cookbook, and this is not good. Yeah, it's over. It says the recipes are easy and fun, and it's a damn lie. Every recipe... I gotta check my stats on that one for a second. Every recipe in it was basically like, make a food and then sculpt a piece of food next to it in order to make it like Pokemon themed. Like one of them was like the Turtwig yogurt parfait. And it's like you make a yogurt parfait and then you cut a kiwi in the shape of a top of a Turtwig's head, and then you cut a lemon to the bottom of a Turtwig's head. You put them on top of each other, then you slice out a little lemon peel and you stick it to the front, and then you put 2 sesame seeds on for the eyes, and then you take a little like cherry with the leaves on the top and you stick it in the... So that was the one where I should say, the Italian... Is it Giratina or Giratina? I'm going to say Giratina pizza, which just looked unbelievably... Like, it just looked horrible. It was like just a hard G. Giratina, okay. So it was just like a margherita pizza. Be a moist jacket. Then it has like a sliced eggplant, a sliced tomato on top of it, and then like some sliced yellow peppers, and then you arrange them in like alternating order, and then you use the yellow peppers as arms. Is horrible. It looks absolutely horrendous. It actually is like, I don't think you can eat it. Because the vegetables like aren't even cut. So like as soon as you pull one slice, like the whole thing's coming off. And then even if you could eat it, it just seems like not tasty. Just a bunch of like, you know, raw ass eggplant on top of it. Like it just looks horrible. I don't know what else to say. Like every recipe was like that though. They were all like, hey, you're probably making this for your child, right? Your kid likes Pokemon. Your life's probably pretty easy right now. How about you take a recipe for a food you like, and you make it take 4 times longer to cook. The cook time remains the same. The prep time gets tripled because we got you doing damn 3-dimensional sculptures. And then it also is inedible. Like, it tastes worse than what you would have made in the first place. What a great cookbook. Fall Guys is just for me, by the way. Whenever you guys complain I care too much about analytics, go look at how many Fall Guys episodes I made in July, and then look at the average like view count on YouTube at least. It's whenever I'm playing Fall Guys on stream, I'm like, yes, yes. Then like I set YouTube videos, and I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta play some more damn Sporkle, man. No, we're just playing the long run. This is like playing Isaac in 2013 before Rebirth had even been announced. You don't even know, man. We're just laying the damn framework. You wait until a new show starring Anya Taylor-Joy comes to Netflix. The Queen's Gambit 2. She tries to become the first female in the 1960s to get to 1,000 crowns in Fall Guys, but she's met with the institutionalized misogyny of so-called Golden Age America, thus showing us the dark side of an age that has become mythologized within our population. And you know what? We might laugh a little too. It's got a little of everything. And shawty on drugs. It's true she's seeing damn beans on the ceiling. Tries to close her eyes at night, but all she can see is thick bonkus. And the bit just sort of trails off from there. But it was good while it lasted. This is for your own... Okay, so like I'm going to read the message, okay? NL, we're moving out, and our renters told us there was a viewing today. We work from home, so we took extra time off to be nice and out of the way. The renters didn't even bother to tell us that the people canceled their viewing. Okay, so here's the thing. The first time I read this at a glance, I thought that you were a landlord and you were mad at your tenants. Is that correct? Because I'm here to tell you for your own protection, you can't post that kind of stuff online. You could probably do it on Facebook or Nextdoor, but you can't do it on Twitch. But it sounds like actually you're renting and they own the place and you're mad at them, in which case, not the asshole. That's based. I mean, it's based of you to be mad at them. In which case, that's okay. I was walking around yesterday and I saw a Twitch chatter in real life. It was a 38-year-old man wearing a shirt that said, "Landlord isn't a real job." And I was like... I almost went up and introduced myself and was like, you probably know who I am. I'm best friends with Hassan. I mean, dude, that was his Saturday shirt. I'm not being a hater in the slightest. But that was his Saturday shirt. I was wearing the Tommy Bahama, of course. Can I tell you how much I like that Tommy Bahama shirt? When I did the laundry, I looked at the tag to make sure that I could put it in the dryer. And you know, I should have known, because it's a shirt made for easy living, that it said, "It's all good, brother. Fucking rub me on a washboard, hang me up to dry in a Louisiana summer. I'll be fine." I don't think you can kill it. It's an unkillable shirt. It's a good shirt for taking it easy. That's my problem. I should have worn the Tommy Bahama shirt to the colonoscopy. So when the gastroenterologist fish hooked me, I was just like, all right. All right, all right, all right. Hey, doc, can you go back in? I think you missed a spot. This is not a good Matthew McConaughey. Hey, doc, can you go back in? I think you missed a spot. Not good. Not a good Matthew McConaughey impression. It's really the all rights are doing all the heavy lifting. I'll be dead if that's okay with you. Okay, I told you it was not a war-chestable situation. I fell through the cracks, just like Joker fell through the cracks of the New York State Psychiatric Services system. And we all know how that worked out. Not so well for, well, I guess it wasn't New York. It was a fictional city called Gotham. That any similarities to other cities, living or dead, is purely coincidental. Don't bounce me. Hold on, I had the best run of my entire life from the end of the game onward. Oh, he grabbed me! Okay, well, fuck you, I'm gonna grab you. Oops. Whatever, I passed you. There's not 12 people in front of me. He grabbed me at the end too. We made it. Oh, man. You should do stand-up. Actually, I dreamed that I was doing stand-up. Maybe Friday or Saturday night. And the only thing I remember was like telling the worst joke of all time about how, like, have you seen all these rectangular juice containers? How are you supposed to get the liquid out of the bottom of the container when there's corners? And like the audience was killing themselves laughing. You know how like when you wake up from a dream for like half a second, you have a dream hangover where you're like, that was real? I had the dream hangover, but I was like, holy cow, I gotta write that one down. I honestly think that's gold. And then I like brushed my teeth, and after that I was like, this joke doesn't even make any sense. Like, it's... Why are they? Is that even a problem in society? Have you been walking around and been like, oh, there's too much juice in rectangular containers now? Like, all the juice gets stuck in the corners? It's like when I was complaining about how, oh, peanut butter manufacturers are so stupid. Why do they make the jars so big so you, like your knife doesn't actually hit the bottom of them, so your hand always gets covered in peanut butter? And then someone was like, you know, they sell smaller jars. And I was like, all right. I guess in that case, I rescind my point. Honestly, I guess I've seen the smaller jars at the grocery store, so fair enough. You got me on that one. I didn't really consider buying the smaller jars just because I've never bought them before, but the juice joke is a 10 out of 10? What are you talking about? It doesn't even make... It has no... There's no punchline. It doesn't make any sense. It's good. The joke is so bad. The corners, though? Yeah, I know. I mean, okay, maybe it's good. Maybe there's something to that. And then at the end of the joke, you just throw in it's morbing time. Okay, yeah. Oh man, what am I gonna do for lunch today? Whew. What am I gonna do for lunch today, man? I'll probably get a footlong sandwich. Sounds about right. It's been like 2 weeks since I had some Subway. I look forward to eating that Subway sandwich, man. You know how like people with alcoholism get a dopamine rush when the first alcoholic drink touches their lips? That's me when I bite into the little cylindrical piece of bread at the end. The piece before you even get like a topping, when it's just bread, I'm like, oh yeah. I can feel my brain lighten up. There's something wrong with it. You're right. You know, Subway should sell a square foot long. Like a sandwich that's a square foot. It could be like 4 inches by 3 inches. This is fucking stupid, man. It doesn't make any damn sense. Like a foot long is probably a square foot. No, I was gonna say that well, maybe it is. I don't know. I was gonna say a foot long is already like a square foot long, but then I was like, there's no way that shit is 11 inches long and like 1.16 inches thick. That thing's like, it's like 2.5 inches thick. Also, something about the cheese they use at the Subway, man. I don't know what it is, but it turns into like delicious saran wrap when it's toasted. I would never tell you that Subway is actually good. I'm just saying, like, I like it. Everybody knows it's bad. Hold on, let's go to r/Subway. Take a look at some of the top posts here. Bro, I get annoyed sometimes. We're going to top post this month, next time I have some space. Something that comes up all the time on the Subway subreddit is being mad at customers who just buy a ham sandwich and it comes to like $9.50. And then they say something like, oh, if you just go to the store, you can buy the ingredients a lot cheaper. Yeah, while I'm out, let me just go to the grocery store and buy a pound of ham and a pound of bread and then eat the sandwich and then let that shit rot in my backpack for the next 8 hours until I get home. Like, our Subway's got a lot of good points, but like, why don't you just relax, okay? Someone's going to your business and buying a ham sandwich. Like, just say, here's your sandwich. I don't buy a ham sandwich because I buy the ingredients cheaper at the grocery store. I buy the so-called oven-roasted chicken breast that I'm sure was sous vide'd in like a huge vat and then shipped to the franchisee and is only 43% chicken anyway, but I like the way it tastes, okay? Sweet onion is dope. That's my wife's Subway order. I can tell you right now. Hey, can I get a foot-long on Italian herbs and cheddar? Sweet onion chicken teriyaki, please. Cheese and toasted. I mean, do you even got an axe? Let me in. And then they say everything on it, and I say, well, start with the guacamole/avocado, because you got to do that before they put the lettuce on. Then I say lettuce, tomato, sweet onion sauce, and that one's good. And then they say, what should we put on the foot-long M&M cookie sandwich you made us order, sir? And I say everything. And then after the lettuce is on, I say, give me the avocado. So they got to use the ice cream scoop to put the avocado on top of the shredded lettuce. And they use the knife to try to spread it, but it's already connected to the lettuce substrate. There's nothing they can... It doesn't move. It just sort of globs a little bit. I'm doing my part at Subway, by the way, because everybody Every time they say any sauces, I say yellow mustard, please. Their hand goes straight to the honey mustard, and then they correct and go to the yellow mustard, which to me means I'm the only motherfucker ordering yellow mustard at Subway, which means I gotta keep ordering the yellow mustard, otherwise they're gonna start deprecating that shit. So if you get yellow mustard at Subway, thank you and also you're welcome. Why don't you just say mustard? Well, because they have like 4 mustards. They have like yellow mustard, smoky honey mustard. You know what they need? Subway could... I feel like what they should have done in the Eat Fresh Refresh, I'm very passionate about this, as you can tell. Instead of investing a bunch of money to get new signs made to pretend they've got new sandwiches, why don't they just get like a couple premium ingredients that are actually not that expensive versus what they already serve? For example, is there any reason that Subway can't have like a Dijon or a spicy mustard? Like, you're a sandwich place. That should be like one of the first things that you... Why you got such an anemic mustard selection when you sell sandwiches? You would think that would be like one of the main things you try to get right. Yeah, how about some pickled ingredients, man? Get some, like a pickled onion or something like that. I guess they do have hot peppers and pickled jalapenos, which are like... Oh no. When you get pickles at Subway, they either give you 4 or 35. It's a little, like... And they've been getting a little stingy. I know inflation's hitting everybody. But now, they used to just take the olives and go like... But now the Subway I go to, they count out 3 olives per 6 inches. And they put it on top of like one of the 3 cucumbers each. And then on top of one of the 3 pickles each. And I'm like, oh... I mean... I'm not that business pilled, I guess, but like, I feel like if you're at the point where you gotta count out individual cucumber slices, you're probably going out of business. Why not make some people's days on the way out by giving them a handful of black olives or something? Wait, this is the guy that tried to screw us in the first game. Okay, get some momentum. Just hit the ball. As long as you hit the ball, we're pogging. Really? What? Edmund? Edmund, I'm playing against a hacker! That's not making it. That's making it. Huge hit. Oh, we're making that. Bounce off the back wall. Off the back wall. Fuck. We're back in psycho mode. What a shot on that one, though. Come on, come on! Huge! You can't hit that. Look at the backspin. Please, please, just let it dip. Let it dip. It needs to be in. Yes! That's over. Good setup. Good hit, dude! Watch out, they phase through. Jordan Everly, Jordan Everly. Fall Mountain? There was some sick plays there. That dude! Slash marker, slash moment, slash moment, slash... But it doesn't exist yet, man! That would have been such a good slash moment, the time NL qualified for the finals in Fall Guys against some odds. I want to see the deserves to win a meter for that one. I want my little Caesar moment. I know, like... that would be such a flex, dude. It's like my TwitchCon 17 Long Beach badge. Just flex that in chat real quick. It's like when I first put that badge up in 2018, people said lol. Now they're like, holy cow, it's 5 years old. I'm getting cash offers, no questions asked. r/moment the time I went straight into the hole on Blast Ball. Hold on, I'm looking at r/subway. So this is how my morning went. And it's a picture of a receipt that I can only describe as at least 6 feet long. The total is $225. 6-inch pizza sub, 6-inch pizza, 6-inch pizza, 6-inch. Oh my God, they're all 6-inch. It's like, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It looks like that's about 32 6-inch pizza subs. That's just, you're kind of a dickhead. You got to spread that around to more Subways, man. Or you gotta like call in the day before or something so they can have like another guy to help you make those pizzas. Because like that's too much. Have you ever been in a Subway in the 2020s? There's one person working. They're proofing the bread. They're cutting the vegetables. They're serving and doing the checkout. This is not like 2005 when every Subway had like one person would take your order and put it in the toaster, and then one person would put the vegetables on it, and then another person would check you out, and then they had a person wiping down the tables. Every single one of those restaurants is being run by a single 22-year-old individual right now. You got to cut them some slack, man. They're all being, they used to be like a 5-star restaurant. Now it's like, it's staffed the way that they staff like boba tea joints. There's just one high school student keeping the whole economy going. You got to cut them some slack, man. They're doing their best to get the sandwiches out there. It really, I mean, like, I don't drink boba tea, but I get it for Kate sometimes. Every time I go to a boba tea place, I'm like, huh. They got you, you're doing everything in this joint, huh? I hope that, like, the 16-year-olds who are running the boba restaurants get, like, an ownership share? No! I got wedged in an untenable position! I would not want to work at a boba place. The menus are, like, so fucking... Like, I've ordered boba tea, like, 50 times. I still get intimidated. It's like how 50-year-old Idahoans think, like, Starbucks is an intimidating place to order. That's how I feel when I go to boba tea. Do you want... I'll take a peach mango with pearls. Oh, do you want a milk tea, a black tea, a green tea, or a real fruit slush? And I'm like... None of this was included in the text I got from my wife. 50% sugar, 20%. Some places are 25, 50, 75, 100. Some places are 20, 50, 70, 100. There's no consistency. How much sugar do you want in that? I don't know. You're the expert. Don't you make like 250 of these a damn day? Why don't you tell me how much sugar I should have in it? 200% sugar. Treetop Tumble. 100% reason to remember the name. True, true. Sorry, I don't know how to order bubble tea. I'm a Coke Zero drinker who was born in November. Your owner needs to set a limit on the number of sandwiches allowed on any remote order. Ours tops out at 6. Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Oopsie. Okay, I see a post that has the bread has landed in the cleaning bucket. Ooh. If it was the Subway near me, they'd probably serve it, honestly. And you know what? If I was the motherfucker that ordered it, I'd probably eat it. Customer called and complained their sub was soupy. 12-inch double meat steak and cheese. Italian urban cheese bread, pepper jack cheese, green peppers more, onions more, banana peppers more, peppercorn ranch sauce no more, Baja chipotle sauce more, roasted garlic aioli more, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese toasted. Okay, well, you do it to yourself, you do. And that's what really hurts. Eat shit. He's dead, dude. I mean, that's basic. They essentially got 5 sauces. Because they got 2 with double the sauce. And then 1 with the regular amount of sauce. You're absolutely right. At that point, you've just ordered a soup. Subway workers, after you tell them you want a sub.
How long?
Okay, you know what? I'll give that a +2. What about this one that says POV the mayo? What the heck was that sound? When the drain is clogged, so you have to clear the drussy? Okay, I hate that. Hate that for sure. You know what? But if I hate it, that means the post succeeded, so I'm going to give that a +2. But this one just says POV, you're the mayo bottle, and it's the Pepe, like leaning, I guess right-handed, leaning back to punch, but they got the Subway hat on. I guess mayo is probably the most popular condiment at Subway, and people like a lot of it. How are you hating on mayo? There's no hate. I'm just not that big of a mayo head. I like the exact amount that a sandwich place chooses to put on the sandwich if they put it on. If they don't put it on, I don't think that I know better than the sandwich artist. We qualified? That's kind of insane. Oh, no, I meant the entirety of chat. Okay, fair enough. Dear Subway customers, don't ramble off all 4 of your subs before I ask you what type of bread. Please take your 50-pound child off our front counter while I'm ringing you up. Why are you asking if we have a certain type of cookie that is not displayed? Obviously, we don't have it. Stop blocking the door when you come in. There's room for 1 customer to form a line in the opposite direction only. Our tips are not to help you cover your purchase, even if it's a few cents. Get your nasty fingers out of the tip jar. Grown-ass adults did this. We don't take coupons. There's 3 signs on the line for it. Yes, we're out of avocado. I understand you come here often. I come here even more often, so I know how to make your sub better than you do. Do you have tuna? I don't know, ma'am. Do you see it on our line? Oh, great, you do? Then yes, we have it. I don't want my steak toasted. Okay, well, it's going to be ice cold. That's fine. So just to be sure, you don't want me to heat it up? Oh, please heat it up. I mean, I'm not saying you should love your job if you work at Subway. It all sounds very frustrating. Sorry, I'm still looking at more Subways. I mean, it's mostly like a lot of Subways that have been vandalized. I hate when people tap the glass and say, I want this one. Do people actually, anyone here ever worked at a Subway? Do people do that? They tap on the glass and say, give me that? Do you understand how optics work? I've done that when I was 12. That's fine, but like as an adult, people do it all the time. That's crazy, man. There's actually like less than 10 things in the Subway deck. You gotta learn the names, man. Just can't stop thinking about how much I hate the gray man. Oh, Subway React. What was I thinking? Our customers be asking for a whole bunch of black olives on their sub. I'm looking at this. It's disgusting. It's not disgusting because of the olives. How much sauce do you get on your sandwich? I think I'm maybe a 2-line mustard guy. This has some Southwest sauce that's honestly as thick as a hot dog, and then mayo underneath it that's as thick as a hot dog, and then some like one more sauce. I don't even know. This is just sub sauce, I think, that's as thick as a hot dog. That's got to be like 200 milliliters of sauce on their sandwich. That's too much, man. Yeah, that's not even a sandwich anymore. It's a sauce-wich. So true. Anyway, I want more sauce than bread. I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater on your Subway order. Unless the workers hate it, in which case I stand with them. But, like, it just seems like a lot of sauce. I mean, I can give you my Subway order. It's actually boring. Because you're literally eating at the most boring restaurant of all time. Of course it's boring. Footlong, oven roasted chicken. I'm fairly bread agnostic. I don't really care. But if I'm choosing for taste, you gotta go Italian herbs and cheese. Cheese and toasted is a gimme. I can't believe they even have to ask the question. Then, for toppings or ingredients, whatever you'd like to call them, lettuce, tomato. Tomato's a recent addition for me. Red onion, skip the green pepper. Let me get some pickles. Let me get some olives. Yellow mustard, and I'm out. That's it. It's a very simple process for me. You can't -2 my order. Yellow mustard is just sad. I'm very smart. I think that there's actually a huge difference between all the mustards, and whatever a mustard you order says a lot about your personality. Yellow mustard? You only eat that when you're having a hot dog at Wrigley Field. I have a college degree now. I eat Dijon. Doesn't make any damn difference, man. This beautiful circle luck. Surprise, motherfucker. Oh, it was just... The game gave me a free dub. What can you say? There was nothing else. They had no chance. What are they going to do with that loadout? There's nothing they could do. Here's my tip for today. It's 2 quarters and 4 pennies. That's 54 cents in tips. I will say, if you're a Subway franchisee, you should just add the tip question to the debit machine when people pay. Like, you don't tip at Subway, but we're tipping at places we shouldn't be tipping at anyway. Like, I go to a bakery sometimes. I get Kate some macarons. There's a little tip section at the end. I went up to the counter and said, I'll have 6 macarons. And then they gave me a box with 6 macarons in it. What's the tip for? I don't understand. Like, it's not, you're absolutely right. North America has capitulated in the war on tips. If we're completely capitulating in the war on tips, then sure, Subway should have a tip suggest. I would tip 10% on my Subway order. The person who's making my sandwich does more for me than, like, the barista does when I order a cold brew. They're just pouring like a pitcher into a cup. I would tip for both, to be honest, obviously. But as a Subway employee for 4 years now, what's the most bizarre thing that's happened in your store? Employees dropping dead while washing dishes. People found dead from overdoses in the bathrooms. Guns in the bathrooms. Old lady drove through the front window. Robberies at gunpoint. Where the hell do you work? Philly? Someone said Philly? They said no, Detroit. Okay. Holy cow. A guy came into our kitchen and pissed in the sink, then wiped his hands on the nearest apron, looked around for a sec, then went to sleep in the bathroom. Holy cow. This is some crazy shit goes down at Subway, man. Just started a few weeks ago, but had a group of 3 people come into the store with a TV. They plugged it in, and after that, they unplugged it and left the store. That's pretty funny. That's like being the guy who wears pajamas and brings like a bowl of cereal to your morning lecture in undergrad. I think that's funny. Guy came in last week. You could tell he had a few screws loose. Talking crazy about random shit that makes no sense. He said he wanted the Bella Maz. Coworker asked if he wanted the veggies as they come or did he want it different. He looked at the menu and said, the Bella Maz, Black Forest ham, gabagool, Bella Giosio, fresh mozzarella, and listed the ingredients, which I haven't memorized yet 3 times in a row. And he would go, I'm just saying. Oh, man. Literally, I gotta read this whole thing. I'm sorry. You can leave if you want. But this is baffling. Literally today, this guy comes in. He looks about 60, but he's pulling 60 well. Good hairline and everything. I welcome him in, and shit, it's only him and me in the store. He says, hey, got a question for you. I tell him to ask away. He asks if we sell 6-inch bread, which not technically at my store, but I could have done it anyway. He explains why he's trying to get 6-inch bread. Me and my wife are making meatball subs back at the house, and I went everywhere, and nowhere's selling 6-inch bread. I look at this man puzzled, thinking he meant grocery stores are just out of long bread. I ask him, they don't have like 12-inch bread you can just buy already baked? And he says, well, they don't have 6-inch. He doesn't understand. Okay, well, that's not as exciting as I thought it was, honestly. It's just, I guess maybe Subway's not that exciting. Unless you get robbed. It's just people coming in not understanding that 6 inches is half of 12 inches. Subway needs to stop fancying up the names of our ingredients. It's called artisan Italian bread. The loaves are farted out into a cardboard box by a machine. All we do is thaw and bake them. They are not handmade. It is not an artisan product, and it is also not from Italy. So somehow calling it artisan Italian bread contains 2 lies in just as many words. Okay, good point. Hearty multigrain. It's whole wheat bread. We call it wheat. All of our customers except first-time shoppers call it wheat. It's wheat bread with seeds in the dough. You're not getting extra business by calling it hearty multigrain. You're just adding extra words for the 60-year-old woman across the counter before I can ask her the next thing. Also, added to this section, it's not actually whole wheat. It's only half whole wheat flour. It also has more sugar than the rest of the breads. Italian herbs and cheese. A bit less atrocious, but still not from Italy or Italian style. That's fair. Oven roasted turkey. It's not roasted in an oven. It's cooked on a massive production line in a factory in an industrial cooker you could hide a Honda Civic in. Okay, Black Forest ham, not sourced from the Black Forest region of Germany. That I could give them, like, that's a bit of a who cares for me. But gabagool, no lies here. Just why do we need this? No one orders it. Everyone says it wrong. Seems like a filler item. Grilled chicken breast. Again, the grill is a massive industrial cooker. I don't know how it's legal to market something as chicken when it's also 50% soy. Baja rotisserie chicken. There's nothing Baja about this. They don't even do rotisserie chicken in Baja, California. It's probably not even rotisserie cooked because it's called rotisserie style. Shit's pretty bussin' though. Okay, for real, for real. I mean, there's a lot here. They went off. Anyway, I'm going to send you over to my wife's stream. It's a good post. Clearly, that's the sort of post you workshop in your head when you're doing an 8-hour shift. I can respect that. Enjoy your Subway. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice night. I'm malicious, mean, and scary. My sneer could curdle dairy. And violence-wise, my hands are not the cleanest. But despite my evil look, and my temper and my hook, I've always yearned to be a concert pianist. Can't you see me on the stage performing Mozart, twinkling the ivories till they gleam? Though I do like breaking femurs, you can count me with the dreamers, cause way down deep inside I've got a dream. I've got a dream. He's got a dream. Okay.